Let me tell you a story. I'm from the UK, right? I've got a boxing background. And I've been training Muay Thai in Thailand for about a week now. And so the first day I started training here in this heat alongside these Thai fighters. The first thing we had to do for the session was go for a big run. And so there was 5 laps to this run. And so the first time I'm running now, I'm running alongside this 15-year-old Thai fighter. And so I started running and I was okay for the first lap. But the second lap, my legs really started to burn. And so I was absolutely gassed out by the 2.5 lap mark. All these excuses in my head. I'm in Thailand right now. The sun is beating down on me. I'm not as good as these Thai fighters. And so after that we had skipping, we had shadow boxing, we had bag work, we had sparring as well. So I did the whole session after this run. It just goes to show how weak the mind is. And so the next run comes, and this time I thought to myself, I do not care. I am willing to die to get these 5 laps. If I had said to myself, I'm a tourist, I'm someone who just trains part-time, I'm someone who doesn't take training seriously, I would have stopped again at around the 3 lap mark. But when you call yourself a fighter, and I called myself a fighter that day, I said, you know what? I do not care. I will go down on my shield. I will happily go to the hospital after this. I will die running. And so when you make this commitment to yourself, like, yes, I'm willing to die, then you have to understand that everything that is below dying will be a minor inconvenience to you. So my legs hurting, my feet hurting, of course I was willing to go through that because I'm willing to die. And so the first lap goes past, the second lap goes past, and my legs really start to burn now at the 3 lap mark. And at first I was doing the cute breathing method, just breathing through your nose. It was easy, but then by the 3rd lap I started making these noises. I was like, and they kept getting louder and louder. And I've got this 15-year-old fighter skipping alongside me, like he's saying, come on. He's saying in Thai, he's saying easy in Thai, which is nai ma. And so he kept saying this, he's saying easy. And I start saying easy, nai ma. And I keep pushing myself and my legs were burning. I was ready to give up, but I kept saying to my head, no, I don't care. I am finishing these laps, whether I like it or not. I will die for these laps. And so I get through the 3rd, I get through the 4th. And now this teenage fighter next to me is saying, come on, let's run, let's have a race. So now, I'm not sure if it was out of, if it was out of ego or pride. I started racing this teenager. And so I would run and I would get even more tired, but I would keep going. And so the 5th lap we were on now, and the finishing line was so close. I'm not sure why, but just because the finish line was getting closer, it was getting harder for me to run. I was like, oh, it's okay if I end it now because the finish line is just there. I can say to myself that I still did like 4.5 laps. But then I was like, no, I will finish this no matter what. So I kept going, and now the last stretch of road was there. And I thought, you know what, let me sprint the last way. And so I sprint the last way and I raced the Thai, and I raced the teenager. And so I finally make it. I get to the 5th lap and I was so exhausted. And there was sweat all over my face. There was sweat all over my hair. The sweat was going in my eyes. My eyes started to hurt. But the level of satisfaction that you get from really pushing your look, I doubled my capacity from the first run. And I realize it's like, if you really want something, if you're willing to give your life for something, then it will happen. And so coming back to the addiction now, if you really want to break free from such a horrible and painful addiction, you have to go all in, man. You have to, otherwise you're going to lose. Anyway, if you want more insights from my Thailand experience, then let me know. But yeah, if you want one-to-one coaching for adult content addiction, then make sure you reach out.